More concrete powder, another 20 bags, another, what's it, 300 feet of rebar. Still got some rebar left, but probably enough. But no, I want to get more. I shouldn't say enough, not for the curb wall, but still got 12 bags of concrete. So yeah, I did the calculation. We used 38 bags for this. So that's the same footage. So that's going to use another 38. Then I'll probably need around 20 something for the top. And then I do need to put in a center column in there. So should work out pretty good. That's not bad, 4 layers thick. And yeah, we need, I don't know, about double this still. Whew. Just got one hell of a storm. And slowly starting to dry up. Hey, I washed all of the cement. Yeah, nope, just created cement in the back of my truck. Yeah, she's definitely getting pretty clunky. I mean, I am towing like probably 800 to 1,000 pounds behind me. And in the bucket, slowly moving some of the sand from that hill over to here. Definitely not the easiest thing on her. And the freaking sun just came out. Man, that's warm, that sun, that burns the eyes. The hardest thing is picking up sand without reverse. I can't just back up, I gotta go over the pile every time. And I gotta pack this down so the next truck doesn't get stuck, so. Gonna be easier on the rear end, but at the same time that motor is not the happiest. Oh man, I wish I had power steering on this thing. But yeah, I got about 5 more loads to scrape down, and then I gotta pack it. Hopefully the transmission will last, because this is technically the last job I really need this thing to do, and technically I can do this by hand. But yeah, she's getting pretty funky. The wheels are starting to go clack, 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 and it's kind of jamming up a bit, but you guys get the point. The littlest bit, I'm pulling the weight behind me. Yeah, I think I might have, she stalled a little hard, and I think she's a little stiff. Yeah, I think she's a little stiff. She's hissing. Well, it makes sense with that amount of weight dragging it around on a low speed. She's not going to get the best cooling. And I knew that. Well, she made her back. A little sizzly. But you can't really see it, but the little hill that's in front of the other one right there is the one I just moved all the sand from and then packed all that area down. And to be honest, the next pile of sand I get dumped there, I'll just be spreading it out after, right where it sits, because that's going to be gravel. So for moving sand, I think this thing is almost retired. Well, another weekend, and it's going to be high of plus 33. Kind of sucks, I could barely see through there. So no, it's not being a delivery for me. I'm just checking out how many weeds you could say are growing on the pad here. Not too big of a deal. And I was looking to see how the wood is drying, see how bad the cracking is, because I only sealed technically the bottom of those and these guys. The rest of the wood I didn't bother sealing it. I did use wax and oil, you could say. I was going to seal the rest with just water and glue and spray it on, but never did. Just checking this guy out. It's not burning any oil or anything. Well, I mean, I don't have that much runtime on it, but definitely is leaking some kind of fuel or something because top of the engine's a little bit wet. Could also be just seeking oil, but again, wow, can't believe this tractor just sitting here. You can see just leaking like crazy. And of course they're pumping stuff onto the roads to stop the dust. Dumping gravel on the front roads, but barely even see the front road from here anymore. Trees are growing too quick. You kind of can see it, possibly. You can see it's all wet looking, calcium or whatever the hell it is that it's called, but yeah. Not sure what else is going to go on this weekend. Again, we're meant to get high of plus 35 weather. That is interesting. Oh. Weird. You can see how it looks like water has been dripping. But that's dirty. I don't know what the hell that is. It's an old spot, I think, from the diesel there. But, huh. Old cushions from the motorhome. They're just going to the dump. A couple old batteries from the motorhome. I don't think none of them will take a charge. I threw them on the charger quickly. I got to check the voltage. But let's just see if that old engine's going to start on that old Sears. It's been sitting now 2 years. But I think I got drained oil out of the spark plug hole. So much junk to go through. I got here 2 tillers, 2 snow blowers here. So I do got 2 gearboxes because I blew that one up last winter. And there's another 2 snow blowers up there. I thought I had another snow blower somewhere, but the sound of Jake's in the morning. If that's even showing up on the camera. Well, this is just going to be boring, so just deciding what I want to do this week. I think it's going to be too hot to dig that out and pour any cement. Woo!
You can see if any more potato bugs came back. If you don't squish these fuckers right away, they will become a big.
So this is only potatoes here?
This is potatoes. This is last year's potatoes.
Yeah, there's something on that leaf, but it's not a potato bug.
They're the orange and beige.
I know what they look like.
Ones.
I don't see any chewed up leaves yet.
Oh,
this one's chewed up a little bit, that guy.
I caught 2 of them fucking on the plants this morning, and there's like 8 more in there, and 1 batch of eggs. So they're here.
Yeah. Okay, so what's in this here? That's just random from last year, right?
This is a bed that I pretty much left to go wild to see what came up. This is red leaf lettuce that's come up here.
Perennials.
Some wormwood. This is all strawberry spinach.
And
still.
weeds, yeah.
And there's some weeds, and then I'm cultivating that rose bush over there.
That grew that fast this year?
Yeah.
All the way to like the berries or whatever they have, hey?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of stuff in here, actually. There's cucumbers and tomatoes and basil and onions in this bed.
And that's pepper plants?
No, these are tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Yeah. They're a little bit small still, hey?
And the basil is the purple one.
Oh, yeah.
Cucumbers. And this is parsnips from last year that stayed in the ground so I could get some seeds this year.
Wow. I think you're going to have enough seeds to frickin'
forever. And that's an heirloom breed parsnip, so that's nice.
Yeah.
And then there's watermelon. And this is broccoli and Brussels sprouts, but I can't remember which is which.
So where did you plant my kohlrabi and where did you plant my radishes?
Well, the winter radishes are going to go in these 2 beds.
Oh, but you don't have any yet?
Those don't, you don't sow those until like late summer.
And this is nothing?
This is nothing. This is horsetail weed that needs to come out. This is cauliflower and red cabbage, but it mostly got eaten. And there's carrots all the way along. Oh, there was.
Peppers are doing good this year.
Yeah. The berries are ripe, but they're not quite ripe yet. I think they're going to be like the strawberries this year.
Yep.
Yeah, the peppers are doing good, and there's cucumbers in there too.
What's this?
Is We're gonna start over here. Where are you going?
Gonna.
This is peas and radishes, and there's kohlrabi, or there was kohlrabi along the back. It looks
Your
like
trap is sprung there with nothing in it, eh?
I know. I strung that on my foot this morning.
Oh, is that why you're walking a little crooked?
Yeah. And my potatoes are flowering. That's good.
Ooh, there's some potatoes in here.
Yeah. This is the big baking potato.
Okay, we got 3 different types, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have, 3, I think. It looks like there's only 5 surviving kohlrabi.
Freaking chipmunks.
6, 7, but those ones are really tiny. Maybe 8. This is the Kajari watermelon. That's more radishes. There's 1 surviving broccoli at the back. And I did recently reseed all of this. There's some dill growing in that corner.
Yeah, the chipmunks were sure brats this year, I guess, hey?
Yeah.
What is that one?
This is echinacea cornflower. Don't touch Miss Stingy there.
This?
Yeah.
What's the look?
Don't touch that one.
Stinging metal?
Yeah. Well, it's purple dead metal.
Okay.
And then there's more tomatoes and peppers in this bed.
Oh, these are climbing.
And yeah, this is what I'm here to deal with. Look at these poor things.
Yep.
They're like, let me climb. So we give them something to climb. Here, you can tie that off there for me.
How high? A foot?
Okay.
Okay, I guess. I'm going to put the camera away then for now. And that in there's just tomatoes, and what else in that one?
That's tomatoes and peppers in there.
Okay.
And then we're going to open up this one, and there's tobacco and...
Wacky tobacco or tobacco?
Tobacco.
Oh, okay.
And pumpkins.
And
then this here is nasturtium, which is a vining flower that it's supposed to keep the bunnies away. We'll see about that. And then the sunflowers all along this back row too.
I missed it. Nothing. She's just a little warm, so she dieseled for about 30 seconds when I shut her off. Oh, it's fine. Just means she has high compression. No, not really, but you know. Huh. Monarch butterfly laying eggs on the milkweed. Looks like it, hey? Oh, wait, I'm not even looking at it on the camera. It's all they eat. Monarch butterflies will eat nothing but milkweed, and we definitely have a good crop worth of it in here. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I don't see any eggs yet, but should be soon. Yeah, we got another warm day. Yeah, feels like 38 outside. It's a little toasty warm in here too, but I mean, installed the second little window air conditioner just for the hell of it. But started doing some digging out here, and now we got a severe thunderstorm watch alert. I mean, I don't see anything in the sky yet, but I got tons of this stuff. And I noticed before where I drew my lines, it made like a super hard barrier that was hard to break. I still got to go down in certain areas, but here's a chunk of it here. And I guess it's not the hardest, but definitely cement like. I got, you know, supply of this stuff that I'll never use again. So I'm going to paint the banks, and hopefully that's going to stop it from collapsing in. Well, I let it sit probably until it gets a little cooler outside. Well, had enough to do the corners. And again, I just don't want it to fall in. So we'll see if that's going to hold up. You can see back here, it started falling in a fair bit. That side was horrible, the first one I dug. So you can see here, all the edges get corroded down. But I don't know if that's going to hold it. Again, I still need to go deeper on here. I still got to put in a rebar. So it's just an experiment. Here's another chunk from before. You can see it soaked right in. It's almost like cement, but not quite as strong. It's just kind of cool. We'll see. If it ends up working, I'm going to regret not thinking of that idea sooner. Okay, so I just removed some more gravel that I just put down here because I had to make a couple hills because I can't get gravel this weekend, and I want to do cement tomorrow. Had some crazy rain, but just pushed some up here, a couple in the little bit of the hill there, good size hill, and then we got the backup stuff over there, which isn't as clean, but we just got like so much rain. Seeing that wasn't packed down, the paint held pretty good. I mean, not really, but it did. Kept the corners together. Definitely gotta scrape all that out. This corner here was the one I was worried about, but you can see where there was no stuff. Wow, that's so wide now. Had a little bit of a leak underneath the mobile home to go fix. But before I do that, I'm going to cut up some rebar, the funnest part. Loader's still going somehow without reverse. She's getting a little noisy, that's for sure. But yeah, I got about 20 pieces of rebar to cut up. Maybe not 20, probably about 15. Well, I've been too lazy to do any filming, but we're getting this side done. Yeah, not much rebar left in that stack, but slowly getting it done. We just got another 25 feet maybe to do. Yeah, not too bad. Well, stage 1 of the pad's done. Looks a little crooked on photo, but that's mostly the photo. That's going to be the entrance there, entrance there. We finished about an hour and a half ago. I got to go out probably in about an hour and hose it down so it doesn't crack, even though it's actually pretty chilly out. Probably won't have that issue, but yeah, camera angle makes it look like it's a lot higher in that one corner, but we are doing a curb wall, so that's where the final level is going to come in place. So it might be 2 inches on one side, 4 inches, 6 inches on the other side. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Whew. So now it's the next day, just about to do some watering of it. It got pretty chilly last night, down to plus 12 Celsius. But yeah, there's some spots, like right there is definitely a low spot, but we kind of wanted that where the door is going to be. And the idea, like I've been saying before, is there's going to be about a 4-inch to 6-inch curb wall around the building. And that's going to be how we final level it, because guaranteed there's high and low spots everywhere on this. That end there looks a little bit higher. That used to be very low, but now it looks higher than everything else. But yeah, fun part now will be making the forms to do the curb wall or knee wall. Nah, I'm not going to go that tall. I was thinking about making it about 2 feet high using blocks, but don't think I'll do that. Well, these are full of lead, and I got that string tight enough you can sing a song on it, and I got 2 levels on here, and they're pretty damn level still. That's from corner to corner, but yeah, the string's pretty tight. There is a couple little low spots in between here, what that's to be expected. So that center rebar height, that one's a little bit longer. It's almost touching the string, so that's pretty good. I did not measure any of those rebars. So what we need to do now is, I kind of wish I had a stronger string, but there is probably already 20 pounds of force on that string minimum. But now we can pick these up and move them to the next one and see how tight it is. Okay, so I just moved. We. The only low spots really is right here, like 5 feet both ways. And the same thing with that side right there. So it's weird. We had a low spot across here and across there. And I really do need to take out a tape measure to find out exactly how low. But I figure it's going to be about 2 inches difference right there. Which is not a big deal, because that just means when we're framing the curb wall that we just need to leave a bit of a gap. So using these jerry cans, because the rebars are technically would have to be cut down. I was going to just weld an extension on the corner rebars to do this, but I really think this is an easier idea because I can tension it, and yeah, those aren't going anywhere. They're full of lead. But yeah, not too bad. Today's weather, I almost wish I did this concrete today instead of yesterday. It's actually nice and cool. It's only about 15 or 16 out here, but yeah, I just stuck that in place. Kind of see the gap hitch underneath it. That 4x4 is perfectly straight, so yeah, it looks like we're only off by about not even an inch under there, so that's not too bad. So got a marker, cheater stick, tape measure. I'm going to tighten up my string and start measuring. As long as the string stays tight and it's not sagging in the middle, 50-foot distance with the string, I don't know, should be fine. Right now it's pretty tight, but definitely going to try snugging that up a little bit more. Well, so I'm going to leave this. I just went and drew some of my measurements across everything, and of course it's a little low there. This is the second time watering it now, but the lowest spot, according to everything I see, is going to be from about that point to about this point. So it gets about 2 inches lower, 3-ish inches lower in that zone right there. So that is the only low spot, and probably the only spot that I'll have to prop up the forms. Easy enough to do that, just shove a 2x4 on end underneath it. But other than that, everything's going to be good. But I think what I'll do is I'll go pick up some 16-foot 2x4s, so it has something bigger to span, make it a lot smoother on the top. Problem with 2x4s is a lot of times they flex over time, so just have to make sure to pour it before any kind of rain. Otherwise they'll just curve to the ground, and don't really want that. But yep, that's where I'm going to leave it for this weekend. Ooh wee, it got cold last night. Got down to +2 out last night. +2 in July. Man, that was almost close to having snow. But yeah, work on that a little bit more next week. A couple low spots, and now we can start doing natural framing for the curb wall.
Tell me if I gotta get a new one.
I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, it's the right color. Yeah, it'll last for this project. Just making some quick, not sawhorses, actually, 8-foot tables. It'll make it easier for processing the boards. I'm going to end up putting a center leg too, but that's just a quick idea. A couple scrap little pieces. Try to use as much of the table as possible, or much as the wood of the wood possible. And some of them are pretty warpy. These ones here, they're good for shelving and tables. That's about it. But that's what all this is. All the 2x4s are for tables. The only structure build are those guys. Well, there's more cement powder. And got the gravel delivered this morning and started building that bench a little bit. But gravel wise, I still need to get a fair bit to do the rest of the driveway. And yeah, that's good. It's getting pretty low. So, there's empty bags in there. Weird. Okay, but that's enough to do the cement. But I need to fill in this because, as you can see, the truck started sinking pretty good, but that's to be expected. I removed most of the gravel when I couldn't get it last week, but gotta start doing my cement forms up here. And it looks like it's a little curved, the top of that, but it's not too bad, you could say. It's just the centers aren't screwed down yet. Backboard that will go in place right here. A little bit of a rough one, but yeah, I gotta screw down the center here. They're kind of popping up a little bit, but that's what I call an extremely quick, a little bit crooked outdoor workbench. And I am going to take the belt sander because with rough cut, you can see there's quite a difference in some spots. But yeah, the center has to be screwed down still, and it'll work. That's just to hold the chop saw. compound miter style, cheapy chop saw, you could say. But it's going to be high of 30 something tomorrow, and today it's already feels like 29, you could say. But gonna unload that cement, drag the bench over to where I'm going to keep it because it has to be within range of the extension cord. So I'm thinking I might just put it right in the center there. That way I can just work right in the center with it, but also the cement mixer has to fit in there, so maybe on that side might be better. Or I can literally just put it right here. I'll see. But yeah, it's going to be a warm one, that's for sure. Well, definitely the belt sander is going to take a long time to try to do this. Yeah, if I bought a wood planer, it would have been nice, but wow, this is a pretty nice wood once to sand it up. So the center one here, a little bit shitty. Now, the idea was to cut a piece of plywood to actually go on top of this, but you know, if it turns out pretty decent, it might be pretty good. After I'll coat it with some boiled linseed oil. I don't think I'll be sanding the bottom of it, but I will spray it down with Thompson water seal maybe. We'll see. Oh, it's getting hot out here. Yeah, definitely the belt sander takes off way less material than I was hoping. I'll have to just get a planer. But, I mean, not that bad. Definitely a low spot right here. But that's all I really cared to do. Not too worried about it again. It's just a thrown together. I might add that the wood that I used was the roughest of the rough. Yeah, on camera it looks a little crooked, but it seemed to be not that bad. Better cover this up before anything. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. I don't think we're going to get any rain tonight. Anyway, I think this means the poor Sears has been sitting for a while. Yeah, I gotta wash that. Definitely have to go wash all that off. Otherwise that deck will rot out. Should actually try using it. It's working, but this is so much quicker. If she'll diesel as much as before. Not that hot out today. Yeah, I think it's time to pull those cylinder heads and clean some of the embers off them, hey? Or the carbon. There we go. Yeah, but those cylinder heads could be very carboned up. So, probably means I should pull the cylinder heads one day, check them out. But yeah, that's not too bad. Did the yard pretty quick. But time to get to going on everything else. Okay, so I'm just deciding how I'm going to do the rebar here. I'm going to put all the rebar into place. Then I'm going to cut the tops off. I'm thinking the rebar is going to go the same height as a normal rebar chair, so about 2 inches off. Then I'll come back, give all those a cut halfway through, smack them with a hammer, break them off. Would have been nice actually just to bend them technically. So, but you know, not too big of a deal. So plan is for this weekend, which is a long weekend, to at least get this corner poured with cement. Again, that's going to be an opening. So I want to build up the two corners very nice. The problem is the pad's a little crooked-ish. You can see the rebar slowly goes to that side. So I do need to pull a string line when I'm doing my forms. Kind of get that over to the side a bit. But again, I could have did this with 6x6s directly on the ground, or I could have used these blocks to mount the building on it, or posting ground. I'm just going, you could say, a bit overkill. Now, as for codes or anything like this, well, I pulled the permit. The building inspector says he doesn't need to see anything. He doesn't need to see it before the concrete poured. He doesn't need to see anything because it's considered a shed and not a garage. So I don't know what the difference would be. I mean, a shed you could put power in, but I'm probably going to just run this off solar. Anything major, I can run an extension cord from the house. Got a 30 amp 240 and a 15 amp 120 and most likely a 20 amp 120. So that one technically doesn't have a plug on it, but the wire's in place. But yeah, I don't know. I got to kind of play around with this. If I want to go a loop design like that, I just used a loader to bend some of them. Some of them I stuck through there on the Land Cruiser and bent them. But I don't know. Time to tie wire it in place and see how it's going to look. Whew. It's going to be a long day. It is freaking hot out, and it's still morning, so I got a little bit of shade in a resting area, but not where I'm working. Wow, is it going to be a hot day. It's already 28, and it's only 10 a.m. Wow. Nah, I just decided I'm just going to use the rough stuff here. And they're a little bit crooked. This one here is also a little bit crooked, but pretty sure that will be fine. Oh, I was wondering why is it sticking up. Yeah, I guess I'll use these. I picked the worst ones and I had them on the top of the pile, and the worst ones I made that with. So that shows that it should be no problem making stuff. I got enough pieces there I could do my corners. Well, I don't know how you got in there. It's a frog, toad. But yeah, he shouldn't be in there.
He needs help. I got a stick.
I'll go for it. Well, might not look like a hell of a lot. I do got to fix that rebar. But this corner here, you can see is nicely jacked up. I got a bunch of blocks like that one that's just loose. But then it goes down on the angle until it's touching. I'm using scrap shitty wood, but you can see right there it's touching. And you can see I'm about, like I was saying, about an inch higher. I had to go here because the center peak right there is a little bit too high, and then it's very high at the back. So I had to raise this up. I should have really used 2x6s probably at the back here, and then 2x4 on the sides, but no big deal. The idea is I'm just going to cut another 2x4 to fill in that gap so I don't waste any cement. But yeah, you can see it better here. You can see the level there. Yeah, I could have just technically left it and cut all my boards a little different. That still has a little bit of a lean to it, but I think I'm going to go with that. I'm tired. It's plus 31 outside right now. It doesn't look like it, but it's starting to cool down. As you've seen, or maybe you didn't see, the sun is finally going down, so made it a little bit nicer. So I came out, did a little bit more work on here, and it's level from going this way and this way across everything. Ooh, something sounds pretty mean in the background there, just idling. But I just locked the forms, piece of rebar so I can't get pushed anymore this way. I did the same thing at the back side, but I do also got to do the corners across like that. But that's a job for tomorrow. I don't think I'll be pouring any cement tomorrow. It's meant to be a crazy thunder shower coming in. Well, it's probably not going to show up the best on the camera here, but I'm going to call that pretty damn level. It's actually lighting up my string. By the jerry can there, the string is being lit up. So it is pretty level. Technically, I think this corner possibly could go up, but check this out. It is touching my string. See my string? Touching my string, touching my string. And you can't really see it here, but yeah, that is the laser on the string. So yeah, I'm going to say the laser is just as accurate as the string. That's pretty cool. It's kind of hard to see in places, but yeah, mostly there because the bottom of the board's kind of shitty, but it is touching the string. Well, looks like I won't be doing cement today. Yeah, the water was just coming down so crazy that my truck wheel had 3 inches of water across it coming out of the down slopes. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. but it might dry up still. It's hard to say. And sure enough, there goes the rain again. Yeah, I do not think we're going to get any of this concrete done today. Well, just got flooded out again. This will all be dry in no time. It just stopped raining. I'm just gonna trim down some of my rebar. So, a few spots, and then I gotta add rebar. I'm gonna go across the corner there with a chunk, brace up the corners a little bit better. But I got a few pieces that need to be cut. What's bad is when this wood gets warped or wet, it warps. So I had to come do quite a bit of repairs, you could say. But you can see this whole corner is a little bit lower than up ahead, so you can see everything's on a little bit of an angle. It's not too big of a deal. I will be filling in the bottoms. I'll just be placing 2x4s underneath there. I could just put gravel, but nah. And you can see that spot's about 3 inches low where the water is. But idea is still to be able to pour this in the next 2 hours, but probably won't happen today. We'll have to wait and make sure everything dries up if I'm even going to attempt that today. Well, it may not look ideal, but I blocked up the bottom. Still need to put a piece of rebar across the corners. Got that sitting right there, and yeah, that is pretty much ready to pour. Be dumping into the wheelbarrow, and this is going to be much heavier concrete, you could say, so I'll be mixing in a little bit more powder for sure. Well, no rain yet, but sure looks like we're going to get rain, hey? Yeah, sure looks like it, but I hope not, because we did pour the concrete about an hour ago. I guess we were finished, just seeing if it's dry enough to do my edge. Nope, not yet. Takes a while to dry with no lime in there, that's for sure. So I think I can do a little bit more. Yeah, we kind of rushed through it. Took all those brackets off and nothing expanded. Added some extra rebar. And the idea is, looks a little low there, that's for sure. But the idea is I'm going to be drilling and putting in my bolts after, putting on my 2x8 pressure treated on the bottom. Might go 2x6 because the wall is going to be 6, but well, all I got is this little guy to do my edge, and I guess I'll get to work. Definitely chilly today. It's like 15 outside only, so 15 Celsius. So it will take a little bit longer to dry, that's for sure. Well, it's now the next morning. I don't know. The finish isn't 100% on top, but it's good enough for what we need. It's going to be hidden anyway. Everything's nice and dry. Probably wait another 4 hours before I remove the forms, or maybe I'll do that next week. But yeah, you can see the forms are kind of pitiful looking, but yeah, those 2x4s are definitely not the most straightest 2x4s. Some of it's my fault for not putting any weight on top of it, of course, but I'm not complaining or anything. But we used a fair bit on the forms. I also, of course, made that workbench, and the idea of the 2x4s is strictly for making benches like this that are going to be across the whole back of this, whole side, whole front, and yeah, lots of shelving. And then I'm also going to have some on this side, but it's not too bad. But as for today, I think I'll start framing up from that corner. This is going to be a door opening. Start framing up from there, cross back this way. So probably possibly start doing that today. I don't think I'll be pouring any more cement today, even though today definitely probably would have been the ideal day. But I don't know, everything looks pretty decent. Might have a slight bowl to the middle of some of them, but where we went 8 inches wide on this, where we only need 6 inches, I'm going 2x6 walls. But I don't know, I think it's pretty decent anyway. This definitely is the hardest section because all the forms had to be raised up to make up for the height of everywhere else. Oh, there we go, knocked all the forms off. You see there's a little bit of a lip, which is perfect because that's going to be straight with the bottom of the metal. Some spots it didn't flow under, you could say, but it's pretty good. Get a couple random scraps of rebar sticking out, but that's from where I cut them down. So those could just be pulled out. A little bit of weird yellow staining I'm seeing. You can see it right there. That must be like a sap out of the wood because this was, you know, cut not too long ago. But this one here is definitely a little bit wider there, but that's not too big of a deal again. But whew, it's gonna be a hot one outside, so just wanted to get these all off. I will give it a hose down. Slower it cures, the stronger it's going to be. And then I think I'll reuse a lot of this wood. And I'll start by framing from here all the way across. But thinking maybe today I could pour just this corner because there's a doorway here. So this piece actually has to go from here out a little bit and then to the door there. I'll see. Just this little corner right now. I might pour that today. We'll see. Yep, I'm working hard. Well, I guess that's where I'm going to leave it. It's now August 1st. Got that all edged out just quickly. All I got is this little tiny edger here. So it will work. The rest of it I'll have to do next weekend. And we've been pulling strings. Final corner here. So far that ledge that I put out there is perfectly square. So on camera it might not look like it, but yeah, it's perfectly square. Measured from end to end. Leveled across it with the strings, which are everywhere. Laser level too. But yeah, this side here we have to prop up just a tiny bit right there. You guys see, have to just prop it up just a tiny bit, let some cement leak out, and then it was perfect with the string, and I had a lot of force on that damn string. So it's going to go good. This here we knew was a low spot because that's the door. We would like the water to wash out that direction. That's why I'm in a low spot here. And then I got a few other measurements here. That's right about there is 1 inch lower, but we ended up going a little bit different on everything. So another inch here, and that back wall should be perfect-ish. And then right there we got about from I guess here to about there, that's going to have to be like 3 inches, 2 inches, 1 inch, because that's definitely a low spot. So again, this is where I'm going to leave it. It's freaking warm. Well, it's actually fairly cool right now, but it's warm when you're working. Okay, hopefully I can get the cement work done next week, and then maybe I'll start building. Not too sure yet if I'm going to wait a little bit longer for the wood to dry.